Why are so many successful, high-achieving men feeling so lonely and unhappy? Some form of sadness, discontent, maybe even some anxiety or feeling isolated and alone. So let's dive right into the center of that fire, turn up the heat, and explore this question. I remember when I was in 6th grade, and my father sat me down on the bed, and he started to explain to me that you have to get into a good college. And I said, okay, Dad, no problem. Just tell me, what is college? I had no idea what he was talking about. But I'm guessing so many of you, when you were a little kid, whether it was your teachers, whether it was your mother, your father, or the people that raised you, you, like me, were taught and told, hey, you got to get into a good school, and you got to get good grades. And if you get good grades, then eventually you'll get into a good college, then you'll get a good job. And if you go back to grad school, you'll get an even better job once you're out. And then from there, you can make lots of money, and you can have the success, you can have the achievements, you can have the goals, you can have the awards, the plaques, the trophies. You'll get married, you'll have children, you'll have the house, the summer house, the winter house, you'll take the vacations, you'll join the golf club, and then finally, you're going to feel happy. Why is it then that today, even men that have accomplished all this and even a lot more are still feeling isolated, still feeling alone, still drowning, some form of sadness, some form of sorrow, some form of what the hell is going on here? I was told, and I was given this map, and I was told that if I followed this map and I did what I was told, and I dotted my I's and I crossed my T's and I got the awards and the trophies and the plaques, that I would be happy. Why isn't that I'm not happy? Why am I not happy? And why is it that I can't even stay present? Why am I so in my head? Why is it that I'm at my son's baseball game, but I'm not really there? I'm in my confusion, I'm in my pain, I'm in my sadness, I'm putting out business fires, I'm at my daughter's recital at her play. I'm not there. I'm not listening to a word. I sit in my driveway in the car. I don't want to go home. I don't feel the same level of success at home that I do at work. I don't want to come home to the coldness or the bitterness or the harshness. I just want to collapse. I just want to drink a glass of wine. I just want to maybe smoke some weed or watch some porn or zone out and scrolling through Facebook and all these different social platforms. I don't want any heavy responsibilities. I mean, I just cranked it up at work. I kicked ass at work, but I come home and I don't feel the same level of success. And even when I do crush it at my job, it's still, there's a discontent. There's something that's missing. How many of you can relate to this? And this is not me being hard on you. I'm just speaking to the reality of, we were given a map, we were given a model, and if you've tuned into some of my other podcasts, I address this, but this model and map of being a man in today's world that we've been handed from generation to generation, it's broken. It doesn't work. And so no wonder so many of us men want to numb out. No wonder so many of us consider harming ourselves or taking our lives. No wonder so many of us turn to weed or porn or affairs, alcohol, or maybe we'll just work harder. Maybe we'll get even more money. Maybe at the next level of success will finally make this pain go away. It'll finally bring me into that space of happiness. You guys know this isn't true at this stage of your life. And so did my client, Mark. And I have hundreds of clients that his story is just like theirs, where literally right before he came to us, he had sat in his car and he had considered taking his own life. He said he was a millimeter from doing so. Nobody on the outside could possibly understand, why would this man consider taking his life? By almost every man's standards, he set the bar. He has a plane, he has boats, he has a summer house, a winter house, an incredible wife, 4 incredible children. He made enough money to take care of his family's family, 3 generations deep. Like every man's dream. You did it, you made it. You got to the finish line. Why is it that he would want to harm himself? And it's because of this map that we've been handed. We've been sold a great lie. We've been sold on the lie that if we have these accomplishments, we have these achievements, we hit our goals, we got the awards and the plaques and the trophies, then we're going to be okay. We're going to smile. We're going to love who we're seeing in the mirror. And yet, here we are as men, and we're still wanting to harm ourselves. We're still feeling lost. We're still feeling isolated, and we don't know where to turn. Most men, they're not going to speak up about it. They don't want to appear as weak or soft or a crybaby or a sissy. We just bury our head, stuff it all down, until one day maybe it implodes. Maybe it implodes to a heart attack. Maybe it's a stroke. Maybe it's dementia, as I shared in my previous podcast with my dad. For some of us, it will be a health crisis, and maybe for some of us, we do consider harming ourselves. And thank God with Mark, that wasn't the case. Thank God he found his way to Man on Fire. And we started handing him a different map. We started handing him a different model of how it really works as a man, one that can lead to a source of joy where you don't have to have that happiness come from something outside of yourself. You see, the problem is that we keep forming what's called codependent relationships. Codependency is when we are relying on something outside of us to fill the void that's inside of us. We are relying on children. We are relying on having a wife. We are relying on having more money. We're relying on having a bigger house. We're relying on having the next big car or the next fancy watch. We're relying on all these things that are outside of ourselves to fill that void. And if there's one message that I can deliver to you inside of today, it's to cut the cord of codependency. Nothing that you will ever source outside of you can fill that void that's on the inside. So what can you do? What can you do is you can start to do the inner work. See, most men were taught, do the outer work. Get the good grades, get the good job, make the money, have the family. Those are the things on the outside. Nobody was teaching us that we have to expand our mind, we have to expand our heart, we have to grow into the full potential of who God made us to be. Nobody was teaching us to grow our emotional intelligence. Nobody was teaching us to grow our spiritual intelligence. No one was teaching us to foster a deeper relationship with a power greater than ourselves. And as men, we have to come back into the awareness that nothing outside of us can fill us. Nothing outside of us can fill the void, nor is it the responsibility of things out there to fill the void, right? As soon as you get married and you have all this passion, oh my God, this is the feeling that I wanted, and then one day you don't have that feeling, so what do? You get rid of the wife and you go on to the next one, then you go on to the next one, or if it's a job, you get rid of the job and all of a sudden you're happy again, but then you're sad again because a few months later you're miserable. When you repeat the pattern over and over again, what's the pattern? The pattern is you keep relying on things outside of you to fill what's inside of you. And the way that you fill what's inside here is you choose to do the inner work. You choose to dig up what we call the shadow. You choose to look at the childhood and the stuff that got pushed down and all the buried emotions and all the feelings that need to eventually come to the surface that we thought we could go away by doing all these things that the culture told us to do, which was to make more money and have those achievements and be successful, and then finally you're going to be okay. And I've been doing men's work now for well over 10 plus years. And I haven't met one man that this is the case. And I'm guessing if you're listening to this podcast right now, you're probably nodding your head going, David, yeah, I could totally relate to what you're saying. So we as men need a new roadmap to rise. We need a new roadmap to find our true happiness. One where the fire can't be put out. One where we're not relying on things outside of ourselves to keep that fire burning. And that is self-sourced love. That is the inner work that you can do to grow who you are as a man from the inside out. So there's a few mindset shifts that I want to introduce you guys to that I think will start you on your way, start you on this journey. Number one, the number one mindset shift that I want you guys to have is to look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am enough. What does that mean? It means whether I have money or I don't have money, I'm enough. Whether I have achievements or I don't have achievements, I'm enough. Whether I have kids, whether I have a wife, whether I have more money, whether I have a bigger house, I am enough as I am. I am enough. When you were a little baby, you were enough. When you were a little kid, you were enough. But then all of a sudden the culture taught you things and said, oh, you have to have these things. You have to accomplish these things. You have to achieve these things. You have to succeed in these ways. You have to have this much money. You have to have this house. You have to have a wife. You have to have kids. Then you'll be enough. No. I am enough. I am enough as I am. You say that into the mirror. You say it until you believe it, whether it takes you a day, a week, a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, you say it every day. Mindset shift number 2. I want you to say this into the mirror. All I'll ever need is within me now. What does that mean? It means you don't need anything outside of yourself. You don't need the wife, you don't need the kids, you don't need the money, you don't need the home, you don't need the accolades, you don't need the trophies and the plaques and the awards. I'm not saying not to have those things. They're beautiful to have in your life, but everything you'll ever need is within you now. Believe that. Believe that that's true. Number 3, I want you to say into the mirror, there's joy is my birthright, and I'm claiming it now. Well, I don't know, David, why should I say these things? Why? Because you already have a voice in your head that's telling you things that you shouldn't be believing. You have a voice in your head, you have the pirates in your head, you have the saboteurs in your head, and they are constantly beating you down. They're constantly trying to tell you that you're not enough. They're constantly trying to pull you down, grab you by the ankles. You come up over that wave and you finally get a breath, and then they're pulling you back down, trying to remind you that you're not good enough. So you want to start conditioning yourself to listen to the real voice. So you claim it. I'm enough. Hey guys, this channel and conversation around manhood grows based upon your help and your support. Now, if you like what you're seeing and hearing, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you'll know the next episode has dropped. Thanks again for all of your support. Now let's get back to the episode. I want you guys to know something. You are amazing. You are phenomenal. You are extraordinary. You are incredible. You are good enough. You always have been good enough. You were good enough when you were a little baby. You're good enough when you were a toddler. And you're good enough today, no matter how many times the pirates try to tell you otherwise, no matter how many times the voice in your head tries to tell you otherwise. I want you to know that you are good enough. And you got this. And I believe in you. And we believe in you. And together, as men, we will rise. Put it in the comments, guys. One big takeaway that you got from today. And let me know, are you committed to saying those things into the mirror? All right, gentlemen, it is David Mailer, the creator of Man on Fire, and together we rise, and I'll see you in the next podcast. If you like what you're seeing and hearing, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell so you'll know the next episode has dropped.